Sometimes in life, if you want to get to the truth, you have to look at the numbers. Unfortunately, 50% of all dogs over 10 years old will die of cancer, and the other 40 to 50% suffer miserably from skin issues or joint problems. And this is widely attributed to your dog's diet. These numbers are what inspired Dr. Dennis Black to create Rough Greens. With thousands of testimonials and 5-star reviews every month, Rough Greens is now the #1 all-natural dog supplement in America. They've helped millions of pups, like mine, stay active and be healthy. And your pup could be next. Fetch a free Jumpstart trial bag for your dog today. You just cover shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. Just use promo code DISCO. That's RUFFGREENS.com. Promo code DISCO. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens. So you're repping AAA today, huh?
Why not? I work there.
You get your. Well, that's what you should actually wear your work outfit. AAA. Wear things that say AAA on it, like the red coats at the for Delta.
Or a lot of press passes or something like that. Backstage access.
Yeah. That's a guess. You should wear your ID thing.
I don't accept requests, much like the show, and especially from you guys. Go ahead.
All right. Can I refer to you as WWE Shill, Konnan?
You can refer to me anything you want.
Have you been reading a lot of YouTube comments or something, Di?
No. Why have you? I haven't been on a lot of social media and YouTube lately.
Yeah, I haven't.
Weekend, I was off the grid on a lot of stuff. I was just watching TV.
Because we get a lot of that WWE shows, but that's been going on since prior to AAA being bought or anything.
Who gives, dude? I don't even read that. Here's the thing: if you work somewhere and you put them over, you're a shill. There's stuff we bury.
Right.
Yeah, what I mean, honestly, why would literally, why would we care about people with cartoon pictures for profile pictures saying stuff about us?
Here's the thing, bro. I'll tell people stuff like, do you actually think I give a what you say about me? He goes, well, you're answering me. That doesn't mean I give a that means I want to bury you publicly.
So Smackdown, they're in Grand Rapids. This is another sellout. They still keep selling out. Shows
because they're a hot product.
Yeah. So LA Knight comes out for promo. Who's introduced by former Las Vegas Golden Knights hype man Mark Nash.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yes, you can.
So it always takes about a year to a year and a half for people to catch up if something got bad or good, because they're still living on those last 3 years where everything was excellent. You know, I'll give you a good example. Our boy ADR, he's been doing this he's been with us almost a year. And now 9-10 months in, people are starting to realize, hey, this guy's good. You know what I'm saying? It just takes a while. If the show, doesn't improve, then it may affect them.
Well, I'm telling you, it's going to be, the thing about it is that, I don't even think it matters if the show improves. Because we've gone through a stage where everybody in online, people that watch the show from start to finish every week, they're like, this is boring, this is too long, SmackDown's 3. They all say the same thing.
Like they have they're almost like the Trump fan base. They have that fan base that are gonna follow them no matter what. Just like in AAA, you hear from everybody, right? Everybody,
right? Never
puts us over. Oh, they suck. This sucks. This sucks. But bro, I'm telling you, we've had like 11 straight sellouts.
Well, that's just what I'm saying.
There are people that are into our product. Well, it's been around 30 years, so a lot of people grew up on that.
Well, plus two, I think it speaks volumes to what they're putting into their digital.
Right.
It's like, okay, you got a bunch of people not watching the show, but if we can clip the 2 or 3 best things this week and make it go viral, and you can catch up.
Right.
You can watch a show next week because you want to see.
They do a great job of that,
and that's the formula.
Right.
They've actually found, regardless of that's the worst thing about it too, is because regardless of content, I mean, the show could be lame. Like it seems like the effort into putting episodic television on is kind of waned a little bit because they found the formula to just for audience capture.
Right. So, and here's another thing, bro. They got a lot of hot chicks. They got a lot of cool characters, right? And like, if you go to AEW, tell me like the top 3 cool characters there.
Be the Hurt Business,
I
right?
like.
Who's
MJF.
Really portrayed as cool.
Maybe
he's with the Hurt Syndicate now.
Okay, Hurt Syndicate.
So all those guys, literally the only cool characters on the show all come out together the same. Actually, I'd say Christian's kind of cool because he's got that old school turtleneck heel gimmick going on,
Right.
like like the
But
Bond
that
villain.
isn't. I don't think young people think he's cool.
No, they
You know
don't.
what
No,
I'm
but
saying?
he's a good, right. He's not cool. You're right. He's just a
Right.
good character. Actually, he's not
Right.
cool
Right.
because he's hanging out
Right.
with a
Right.
mom and her kid.
Right.
It
Right.
keeps-
Yeah, that's great.
Right. I thought he was cool, but he's actually not. Because if he
Right.
hangs like, why are you hanging out with these people?
Right. Yeah, he's a great heel.
Right.
What are you trying to say, Joe?
I think Moxley's cool.
Do you really?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna
Bro,
go.
I think he's the
disagree
epitome of
with
uncool.
thoroughly.
Wait 1 second.
Because he
always
comes
liked
out and does all his movements like he's crazy and like twitches and it's just bro,
Yeah.
but that's not organic. That's him trying to look like he's acting. You know what I'm saying?
I've always liked him since the Indies and WWE, and he just.
So
he
you
had
think his character right now is cool?
he's always just been Moxley. I haven't liked the stable and all that. And
Well, don't backpedal. You just said you thought he was cool.
Well, there's a lot of cool characters in WWE.
Right.
Like
Moxley,
like the
Moxley's
whole
not,
Heyman
bro,
faction's pretty
Moxley's
cool.
not cool at all.
Right.
Right? There's
I'm just
nobody
surprised that
well,
he-
you think you're cool, so you probably see him and go, wow, that guy's cool.
my mom thought I was.
But actually, none, well, what do you expect a mom to think? None of you guys,
All right. So
none
let's
of
continue
you
this.
two are cool. Boom.
Let's continue with this big review. So LA Knight comes out. He said he was screwed by Seth for Money in the Bank. He said they cost him his King of the Ring rematch. So he did the same to them. Like they've been doing payback with each other. So Heyman walks out. CM Punk chant when Heyman walked out. And he says, clearly you guys have a lot of enemies, Knight told Heyman. They claim to be the biggest Knight fan in all of WWE. Has been waiting a long time and then said, yeah, and acted giddy. Heyman said there's a favor to him. Rollins let him tell Knight to get to the host city or something really bad would happen to him by the end of the night. Knight said he had to wrap his head around Heyman threatening him. Knight said that since Heyman wouldn't deliver Rollins, that it should be like Knight versus Heyman. Knight told Heyman he would turn his back, take his gear off, and let Heyman have the first shot. Knight said if Heyman doesn't do it, he would mollywop. Heyman rolled out of the ring while Knight had his back turned, and Heyman asked Knight if he recalled telling him something bad would happen if he didn't get out of the city. Now Heyman said that wasn't a prediction, it was a spoiler, and Braun Breaker and Reed tried to jump him, but they don't get him here because he grabbed a chair. So that's what. But they have told him he laid down the law that something bad's going to happen to you if you don't leave. So what'd you think of this?
First of all, I like the word mollywop.
Yeah.
Is that a Southern term or no?
I've never heard it before,
Irish,
to be honest with you.
Let me see.
Yeah, I've
Mollywop definitely
I've never
sounds
heard it
Irish.
before, but it sounds funny, like a whooping.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, like a good old Brooklyn or Marietta, Georgia tushy kicking.
Correct. What would you do if there was a team debut WWE called the Tushy Kickers?
That would be hilarious.
What if you bring him down to AAA, the Tushy Kickers?
I won't, because they won't understand what that
Well,
means.
I'd have him come. I would book them to come beat up, but the hamburger kid, whatever that guy's name is, beat the out of him.
Right.
I saw a bunch of theories here. It's apparently either originated in Detroit, Philadelphia, the Deep South, or the Bay. So
Well, it's a
Anywhere.
Detroit. He used Detroit because they were in Grand Rapids, so I guess it is a Detroit area term. Detroit.
What does it mean? Whooping?
Yeah. yeah.
Right.
Mollywop.
So basically, this was here's what I have to say about this. Basically, they were setting up the match for Reed and LA Knight for later on in the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was also good because, Paulie's basically saying, hey, something's going to happen to you, right? So it makes you tune in to see what's going to happen, right?
And Knight's getting to mix it up with the top stable.
Right, and they basically come
Yeah,
back
but
from the
let me
break.
just say something. We were talking about Jey Uso yesterday and how his dad thinks he hasn't been used right, which I agree. Bro, for as much as Knight has been not well booked, if that's the correct word, he's still incredibly over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bro, if he's over, push him
Right.
more and better storylines.
Well, here's the problem with all these guys. You don't have a lot of heels. You got a lot of baby faces you want to push, and there's not a lot of heels from the work against.
Well, then
If you
bring
think
some up from NXT.
maybe or turn some of these guys,
Right, or
I mean,
turn him.
Jesus.
Right.
Right, so
Who would you turn?
you could turn Sammy in a heartbeat
Yeah. Yeah.
because he's actually a better heel than he is a baby face. So
And you got Cross as a heel, just who's in the holding pattern.
yeah. Byron Saxton showed up. Heyman had to hold him back from attacking him backstage because Reed and Breaker were about what just happened. He said things are always in their favor. That's the point. Then Byron Saxton said Nick Aldis informed that Reed will face Knight later in the show, but we already knew that. So then we do Asuka versus Alexa Bliss in a Queen of the Ring semifinal match, and I didn't think there was any scenario where Asuka would lose this, but she put her knees up. Bro, Alexa Bliss, she's way too thigh slappy. Like, she looks very prissy when she wrestles and does
For a
it.
top person.
Yeah, it's just like she said, constantly, like she's doing little playful tap. I'm like, dude, she's got to be more physical out there, you know? Like she's doing the fake thigh slapping and just, like I said, I think she did a spot where she like tried to forearm her and smacked her thigh to make the sound, and she missed her by like Asuka by like this much, you know? So I don't know.
And that's purely a WWE system product, Alexa. You know, she didn't come from the Indies or anything.
Well, she's getting into bad habits up there because she probably doesn't wrestle a lot anymore. She's been in and out of injury. So
after like a year or something, it was a long
time. She needs to be a little more physical out there. So instead of looking like a thigh, you know, it's when you do all that, you look kind of like a sissy when you wrestle. It's hard to unsee because the girls that are
she's
physical,
a girl. How can she look like a sissy? But I'm
just saying, it's like because you see the girls that are physical.
I think if you're a top guy and you're doing that, especially a lot, once is cool. Right?
Right.
But if you're doing it a lot, bro, come on. Right. That to me, that's indie.
Yeah, it is.
Fans have identified it too. You know,
so Jade Cargill, B-Fab, and Mitchell were backstage watching. I like how isn't it funny? Like our girl collections, like we have all our mid-card girls, and they're all kind of like together. The ones that we're not really doing anything with, they're going to create something. So Jade Cargill, B-Fab, and Mitchell were shown watching the match on a backstage monitor. B-Fab said Asuka came back and made a statement. She said it was like Asuka never left. And Mitchell said it was time for her and B-Fab to make their own statement and talk to Nick Aldis about the WWE Women's Tag Division.
Yeah, Nick Aldis, will you put up us against some other mid-carders nobody cares about?
Right. Byron Saxton showed up as B-Fab and Mitchell were leaving, asked Jade about the possibility of facing Perez or Asuka in the Queen of the Ring final. And Jade had to read some goofy scripted promo that some writer wrote for him that used the word store a minute, like it was just complete. Bro, she's better when she's talking. Right. This was like a babyface promo, and there's a storm's going to be around. Like it was just, it was not, and you could tell she was not
diluted her character.
Yes,
jeez. I would love to see Storm, and I think we've discussed this. I know we have.
Try it.
Storm should be in a DC or Marvel movie, straight up.
Yeah, she looks like Storm from X-Pac.
Cargill is Storm,
100%. But I did. Joe, pull that promo up.
Nothing.
I want to watch this promo again.
Better than Halle Berry.
See if you can find this little backstage segment with B-Fab, Mitchin, and Jade Cargill. So Alexa Bliss was walking backstage after she lost, and she was approached by Green.
Let me say something about that Halle Berry comment. Halle Berry may be prettier, but she does not have her physique.
No, I mean Halle Berry.
Yeah, Halle Berry.
Yeah, Jade's.
When you said Halle Berry, I thought you were talking about some porn star characters.
I'm in Iran, dude.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Well, what are you? Then what if you get bombed? Well, you're going to get bombed then by the United States of America. We're going to come after your nuclear facilities if you're in Iran. I think it's inappropriate for you to say that now.
I actually think I crossed the border into Turkmenistan, so I'm not officially in Iran.
Okay, you're in Turkmenistan because if you're in Iran, we're going to get people who are going to get offended.
What was that brutal sound effect you like to sneak in while I'm talking?
The one when you.
No, I just heard a girl's voice.
Oh no!
Oh, was it this?
That's this.
Yeah, you were not good on the ones.
I want to play Jade Cargill here. Yeah. Fast forward to Jade Cargill's promo.
Did you see this, Joe?
Yeah.
You saw this? Okay, yeah. I'm not. Joe, fast forward to where Jade's talking.
I got it. I'm going to the beginning of it.
Damn.
No, do not go to the beginning of it. Just fast forward to all these girls talking. Go to Jade, along with Brian. There we go. Okay.
Hey, Jade, mind if I grab a word with you?
Shoot.
I know you just watched Asuka advance to the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament, but you also have your own semifinal match this Monday night against Roxanne Perez. So how do you feel about facing such a talented competitor like Perez? And also, how do you feel about the possibility of facing Asuka in the finals?
Rox, she has potential. She's quick, scrappy, but she's still trying to prove herself. And this isn't a proving ground. This is a throne room, and I was built for royalty. Now, Asuka, that's a storm on the horizon. But newsflash, I'm the storm. This entire tournament, it wasn't built for the future. It was built for a woman that can walk through the fire, shatter glass ceilings, and fix her crown on the way to the top. This Queen of the Ring, I'm not walking in just to win. I'm walking in to reign.
That wasn't as bad as you said, but I thought
No, but it's just like you tell it was it's a scripted, like yeah, that's all I'm saying.
If you know
Because
about the business you do.
A lot of their promos have felt organic lately. Like the next,
Right,
I would say that
yeah,
was
she's better when she's talking trash. Like on Twitter, her and Naomi were just roasting each other. And who does Brian Saxton? Is that his name?
Byron Saxton.
Yes. Who does he remind you of?
Coach?
I don't Coach.
No, Carlton from Fresh Prince.
So Alexa Bliss is approached by Chelsea, and she said Green said she'd be the queen of the ring if it wasn't for Bliss. Charlotte showed up and said she'd be in the tournament if she still had Green's replacement tapped out 1 second sooner. And Green and her allies stormed away, and Bliss said she didn't need Flair's help. Flair said she wasn't there to help.
Disco, let me just say this real quick. If there's two people that just come off the top of my head that are totally like underappreciated, there is Chelsea and Karrion Kross.
Right. Next is Kit Wilson was in the ring when Aleister Black started to make his entrance, but R-Truth came and attacked him and put him in the STF. He got a microphone to call out Cena, and then he reapplied the STF. Then all the producers came out, and they got Truth to release a hold. And then they brought Truth out. He walked by Black, and they didn't make eye contact. So then they go up
or something, because that's weird that Aleister's, back just a couple months less, whatever, and this guy just kind of ruined his match and took his opportunity. Don't you think Black should have responded somehow instead of just standing there?
Well, I thought he said he watched the show.
Yeah, I'm saying right now
they get each other's face and backstage coming up.
Yeah. But they didn't do it in the ring, is what I mean.
No.
Yeah.
So the video package of Gunther and Goldberg, and this is why the WWE is just so good at this. Is like, bro, it reminded you of everything that Goldberg and Gunther, all of their history that they have with each other, right? So they just reminded you of all this in the video package, so you know exactly what's going on. Then backstage.
Am I misremembering? Oh yeah, we already went over that. Asuka and Alexa Bliss, right?
Yeah.
That you were talking about the thigh slapping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then Aleister Black confronted Truth backstage and asked him why he was getting involved in this match. Truth said it wasn't personal, had nothing to do with them, and they got right in each other's face, and Damian Priest showed up and separated them. And he asked to speak to Truth, and Black made his exit, and Priest spoke about how Truth made him and the world smile, and he said he should take his anger he's built up and focus it on Cena. They could go downtown and celebrate. Said it sounded good, and they shook hands. So Cody comes out for a promo. Jey Uso comes out. They're going to be fighting each other coming up for the King of the Ring semifinals. Jey said they've both been the mountaintop, but on Monday there'd be only room for one. Said he knew that it wasn't personal. It would be just business. And Jey said after go to the war, it would be 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. Sami Zayn came out, and they shook hands. And Sami Zayn came out, joined them, and said it was nice to share the ring with 2 great friends. Said he'd be lying if he wasn't aware that of the 3, only he had not won a world championship. And he recalled appearing at WrestleMania despite not having a match because he wanted to see Jey win the world championship. And Zayn recalled being the first person to enter the ring to congratulate Cody after he finished his story. And Zayn said he would hope they would both understand there was time for him to finish his story. The Randy Orton music hit, and he comes out. He told Jey he loves him and their families go way back, but it would be 3 letters and 1 move if they meet the King of the Ring final. And he told Cody that there's no line he won't cross. Orton said he sincerely believes that Zayn will be world champion soon, but SummerSlam won't be that day. Orton said Zayn would be on the receiving end of an RKO tonight. And so then they did. What do you think of this big conglomeration of everybody in the ring talking about their matches?
Okay, first of all, I thought it was way too long.
Right.
That's number 1. Number 2, it was weird to me that Rhodes never got to speak because people keep coming in. Mm-hmm. I wonder if, it's a way to hook people into. I wonder what Rhodes thinks, because right now he's basically trying to get to WrestleMania and get it to contention for the title he screwed out of, right? That's his story. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they did something good here. The first thing they did in the first match was they set up a match for later on in the show. Reed and LA Knight, right? And here they set up the semifinal match, which was Zayn and Orton. And Zayn actually said something like, it's time for me to finish my story. And Orton actually told them, someday you will be world champion, but SummerSlam's not that day. Boom.
Right. So they do a spot near the end of their match. Zayn went for top roll move. Orton avoided it. Orton rolled through. They went for an RKO, but Zayn pushed him off and charged for a Helluva Kick, but Orton caught him out of nowhere with the RKO for the win.
Very nice finish.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
just
Sammy
love the
loses.
creative ways, that Orton comes up to hit that RKO, and I'm sure a lot of wrestlers go, I got a good idea for you to hit me with the RKO, but he always does sweet. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
I just wish they'd start they're probably going to do it after he lost the King of the Ring, so I hope they start the Karrion Kross thing.
well, they have a thing backstage. So Nia Jax comes out and she was mad at Tiffy. So then Tiffy time hits, the music hits. And she comes out and says Jax is like a toxic ex she can't get rid of and told Jax to get over it. Stratton asked if Jax would admit that she's better than her, and Jax said if Stratton is so much better than her, then she should give her a rematch. It doesn't involve kicking a chair in her face. Stratton said it was her lucky day, and she will face Jax in a last woman standing match on next week's show. It's very important. So Jax, they had words, and Jax went after Stratton, who initially avoided her, but then Jax put her down with the Samoan drop and then dropped her leg on her. She mugged with the title belt and hit a second leg drop on her. Then she went to the broadcast table and jawed to the broadcast team. Naomi ran out, now sees the opportunity to cash in because Tiffany's been laid out. But Jax wouldn't let her, kept grabbing her and telling her no because she's got a match against Tiffy next week. So that's, so that was because they just announced that. So Stratton tossed the briefcase to ringside and made her exit after she drop kicked Naomi off the apron onto Jax on the floor. What did you think of this?
It was all right.
I thought this was a decent segment for what it was.
Well, I think
because they teased the cash in. It was actually like a pretty important moment on the show if you think about it, like the storyline progression. But it made sense because Nia didn't want her to cash in because she's got the title match next week.
Yeah, because it looked like Naomi was going to cash in the Money in the Bank. Yeah,
right.
You're right.
Yeah.
And Jax stopped her.
Right.
But I think when Naomi finally does it, bro, the place is going to pop, just like they did with Dominic.
Of course
I think they appreciated the hard work and where she's at. You know what I'm saying?
So then we do this was excellent. They had another excellent package on the history between Punk and Cena, and they did it to like the yin and the yang,
right?
And how the yin and the yang is flipped roles,
right?
Now they're like Cena's the yin and Punk is the yang. So,
right.
But this was a good video to if like you don't like if you hadn't been watching the show, this was a good video that that's what they do.
It brings you up to date
in perfect detail too. So Charlotte versus Chelsea, she had all the characters out there, and so Charlotte's a babyface here. I don't know what, bro. I don't get this. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's not a lot of heels across the board on this show. It's like, why are you taking one of your heels and having her work babyface here?
Plus, not only that, bro, she's a natural heel like Flair, like Rick. Yeah,
it's kind of weird. So Flair with her figure eight, but Green countered an inside cradle for near fall and applied the figure eight. Then Piper Niven came in the ring and did a senton on Flair, and it twisted Charlotte's ankle and almost broke it. Charlotte was not happy with that. And Bliss Bliss came out and saved her. Once the heels were out of the ring, Bliss stared at Flair from across the ring and then walked to the middle and held out her hand. And Flair walked past her and exited the ring. So I guess they're going to be having a match.
Why would Alexa Bliss offer her hand if they've been?
She just said, "I don't want your help." She had done it like the backstage. I don't know.
Kind of weird, bro. I don't know why they're putting Flair as a face when the people obviously don't like her.
Right.
Embrace the heel, bro. Get real. If you're gonna boost somebody, give them a reason to.
But maybe they're giving her another thing of heat here, so she could act nice and then turn. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Monster Stash was taping up his fist when Solo showed up and asked him what he was doing. And Monster Stash said he wanted to take out Jacob Fatu. Solo said no, and he said he was going to the ring to talk to Fatu. Solo said that when he was the tribal chief, was the only person that Fatu would listen to, and he said he would talk to him and smooth things over. Solo was about to leave the room when he stopped and said, "Just be ready." So Monster Stash smiled at him. That's AC Mateo, by the way, who's formerly known as Monster Stash. What was his actual name in
Jeff
Lucha
Cobb,
Underground?
which you didn't like that name.
What's it called?
Jeff Cobb.
No, he was. What was he in Lucha Underground?
Matanzas.
Oh, Matanzas. Okay, well, I like Monster Stash.
Yeah, so do I.
All right. So Solo come out. I told Jacob he was in the ring with open arms. Fatu came out. Solo said he wasn't there to fight. He said he wanted to know that he loves him and always has. Said he learned how to love and take care of family when he was the tribal chief. And Solo said families fight, argue, and forgive. He asked Fatu to move forward as one. And Solo said no one other than him saw the potential of Fatu, and no one wanted him in WWE other than him. Solo said he gave Fatu the opportunity because he loves him. Solo said he doesn't have anyone else. "You're all I got," Jacob Sikoa said. "You're all I need. So come back to the family." And he said that that even if Fatu wouldn't say those 4 words, he said them to them. I love you, Jacob. Fatu finally spoke and said, "You love me, huh?" That's what it comes down to. You loving me the way I see. This is hysterical because if this was verbiage between 2 women,
Right.
it'd be like a breakup, like this sounds like 2 characters that broke up with each other that are still in love. Fatu said, he said, the way I see things, you've been using me to gain power, using me to fight your battles, and using me so you could just remain the tribal chief. He said, Solo's the one who's been acting differently since Fatu won the U.S. title. And Fatu said, maybe the problem is the U.S. title. Fatu placed the title on the map between him and Sikoa, and Fatu told Solo to fight him for the title. Fatu said he would only warn Solo once that if he thinks about coming at him, he knows what he's about, and he shouldn't want any problems with him. Solo tried to hit Fatu with the Samoan spike. Fatu blocked it and then headbutted him. The Monster Stash ran in and was knocked down by Fatu, but Solo used the distraction to clip Fatu's knee. By the way, good physical-looking beatdown here.
Right.
Monster Stash, bro. There's such a difference when you're jumping a guy and you're trying to get heat, and it looks like heat. Like perfect example, Braun Breaker still doesn't know how to throw those punches on these beatdowns.
Doesn't
he needs to go back to the performance center.
Doesn't anybody tell him?
I don't know. It's like, but the difference in the way this guy looked compared to like Seth's guys beating down with this is much more physical and far better. So Jimmy Uso ran out and super kicked Monster Stash in Solo, but Monster Stash came back with a clothesline. Then Monster Stash worked over Jimmy with punches while Solo barked at him, and Fatu covered and put down Monster Stash and Solo. Then Fatu headbutted Solo while he was seated in the corner. Fatu super kicked the Monster Stash and hit Solo with the hip attack. Fatu looked at Jimmy, and Fatu went to the ropes as Solo rode out of the ring. Want to hear Powell's POV?
Yeah.
A solid segment with Fatu not falling for Solo's latest attempt to gaslight him would be about the best way to sum that up. Would you agree with that?
Yep.
Yeah. But by the way, if you want to go back and watch something here, watch Jay's Monster Stash beating up these guys in the corner when he has them done. It looks real. That's what you need to do it.
I wonder if they're trying to give
more realism in the physicality adds to an angle. Period. Because lack of it takes away from an angle. So
I'm just wondering if they're trying to give Jimmy a little bit of rub off of Fatu since they are related, and I wonder if they would somehow put Jay and Fatu and Jimmy together.
Well, they're all dressed out. They were all dressed out there in black.
Right.
Kind of interesting. I thought they kind of like Jimmy was kind of like. It's kind of like going like he turned into kind of like a goofy Samoan.
Right.
He was the happy Samoans, right? Remember him and years ago when they were just the happy Samoans smiling all the time. And I said that is not intimidating because I know there's some Samoans in Vegas and they're badasses.
My favorite Jimmy was when he was talking back to Roman. Remember?
Yeah.
He goes, "My brother might put up with, but I'm not going to."
Think about where his character's gone from since then. Yeah. Like he's like a simp now with the deal. But they started dressing like the Samoan gang members do to look tougher. Now Jimmy's kind of like maybe he's want to go back to start looking tougher again, instead of being all happy and goofy and everything like he was. So I don't know. It depends. All that matters is what Rikishi is telling them to do, in my opinion. Do you think that Rikishi is producing the Uso brothers? Actually, Joe, look this up for me, please.
Produce them better.
I want to see where Rikishi is in that family tree. Like who are his kids? Who are his brothers? And who is his dad? I know. Like where if Rikishi is the center, I want to know what his orbit is. All right. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the home stretch for NBA and NHL playoffs. And there's more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NHL, and UFC. And in between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino. All the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino action. So BetOnline, the game starts here. So Bronson Reed against LA Knight. Well, they were going to beat either of these guys now. So Reed went for a powerbomb, and I countered a DDT. The Breaker climbed up on the apron and was punched by Knight. Then Reed charged Knight, who held the top rope down, and sent Reed to ringside. Then Knight ran the ropes and was speared by Breaker for the DQ finish. And afterwards, Reed held Knight until Breaker speared him again, and they just beat the out of him and give him 3 tsunamis. Good heat. This is what the heels need to do. And the storyline was that Heyman told him to leave. If you don't, something bad's going to happen. And something bad happened.
It did.
And now he's all alone fighting these guys, so it's gonna be interesting to see what his next progression.
Which is great because the next time he makes a prediction like that, people will stay to watch.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, Rikishi's brothers were
Tonga Kid.
and Tonga. Yeah, and
Wait,
Umaga.
who in Tonga?
Umaga.
Okay, Umaga
No, I
and
think
Tonga.
Umaga was is that his brother or his son? No, his brother, right? Yeah, it was his brother.
Okay, so Umaga, Tonga Kid, and Rikishi. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's pull it up here. Okay, I gotta make this bigger. Hang on. Okay, so we have Samuel. Okay, so the Tonga Kid. All right, so Rikishi. Who is Talasua Flavai? Who is that?
And where is it?
That would
Over
be
here.
Rikishi's wife or kid's mom, anyway. So
It's kind of funny here, like it looks like Dwayne, like The Rock. The only connection he has to like this side of the family is so who is Simone? Simone Johnson.
Appa was
His mom was Leah
No, I'm talking
Maivia.
about the mom. I'm talking about the kid. Okay, so I'm looking at Dwayne Johnson's over here on the right? So he's married to Danny Garcia,
Right.
what?
and so who is Simone Johnson? Ava. Who is
Yeah,
that?
that's,
That's
the
his
girl on
daughter.
NXT.
NXT.
That's his daughter. Okay, his daughter in NXT. Okay, so she's like a half sister to Solo and this other. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, so like cousins. So Jacob, Trinity. Wait, so John. So the kids of so Tonga Kid's kid is Jacob.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So that's Tonga Kid's kid. These kids are the twins. Trinity is married to Jimmy.
Mhm.
And I guess Thavana Mona Lisa, I guess she's married to maybe Jey Uso, I guess.
No,
I
it's
guess-
just
I don't know.
Rikishi's daughter.
So, okay, so on the other side here is the Rikishi side. Okay, Rikishi is more related. So Alpha had Yoko. Okay, so Yokozuna is Alpha's kid.
Right.
Okay,
No.
No?
yeah, right here it says Alpha Annoyed to right below Rodney Annoyed, Yokozuna.
All right.
Okay, and it looks like Sika had Rosie and
That's
Roman.
not Appa. That's a Foa.
Oh, a Foa. So who is okay? So
But
right.
that's Appa's brother. See, Appa's right here.
Okay, Alpha's brother. Okay, a Foa. So Yokozuna's a Foa. Okay, so all those brothers. So Alpha's brothers, right? They had Yokozuna, Rosie, and Roman.
No,
Interesting.
Yokozuna,
And Alpha looks like had
Yokozuna and
Yeah.
Rosie and Roman had different mothers.
yeah. Interesting. This is an interesting
No.
thing
I'm
too.
just,
Gary
the way this is
Albright.
set up is weird because Sika is Rosie and Roman's dad. This Afoa is Yokozuna's dad. So they're cousins.
Well, it seems kind of my whole point is, it seems like Rikishi's kind of like lower on the totem pole in here to be calling all the shots. Do you
Yeah,
think
but right now he's an OG, you know.
he isn't. I guess he is because was Tonga Kid alive right now?
Yes.
Okay, so he's alive and Umaga's not.
Right.
Yeah, so kind of Rikishi. It's interesting. I wonder why Tonga. Look up, see if Tonga Kid ever makes is ever vocal on Twitter or anything, or if he is anything to say about it.
He's definitely vocal in real life. I'll tell you
Interesting
that.
side, right? Interesting sidebar there.
One of the guys that's on here, this Black Pearl, Reno, NOI.
Yeah. He's a all Japan guy.
Okay, so you guys have worked with him. You know him and stuff.
I've seen-
Yeah, I
never
know
did anything
Reno.
on
I've actually
American
worked on
TV.
shows with him.
Yeah.
He actually came to Mexico
Right,
with Rikishi to work.
Yeah, he's actually a really cool
Nice
guy
guy.
too.
Nice guy,
Yeah,
yeah.
super nice guy.
Good
I
looking
like
guy
him.
too.
So, all right. So next, okay. So following matches now is next week for SmackDown and Riyadh. Zelina Vega versus Julia for the Women's Championship. Street Profits against the Wyatt Six for the titles. Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax for the Women's Championship. Interesting. Actually, this is stacked. A couple title matches on the show.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So Tonga
But
Kid,
three title matches on the show in Riyadh. So
Yeah.
so I bet
Big
just not
show.
gonna be an angle-driven show. It's gonna be like matches. You can take that down, Joe.
Tonga Kid hasn't been active on Twitter since 2022.
Oh, he hasn't.
He wasn't really active anyway, but yeah.
Right. So backstage,
Oh,
Jacob.
and we never got to the number because we just kind of got sidetracked. It did at 1.524. It's up 10% from last weekend. Up 10% from
Well,
last
let me tell you, this is so hysterical too, because like the dirt sheet media wants to gaslight everybody on ratings and stuff. Everything. What did we say before the playoffs started, Cody, about what's going to happen to the numbers of all the shows?
Yeah, anytime there's playoffs games, they'll go down.
They'll go down. And now the playoffs are over. What's going to happen to the numbers?
They'll go up.
Probably back up. So, and it's like everybody's like trying to make an analyzation of it. It's
Because
like,
it's so easy,
right,
bro.
I know.
mean,
It's like-
you want to watch the playoff live because your
Yeah.
team,
Right.
and see if they go to the next level or they get eliminated, and you want
Right.
to see other teams, or do you want to see wrestling that you could see 52 weeks a year plus
Right.
pay-per-views?
Yeah.
And the only way people turn is if there's a blowout. Okay, this game's
Right.
not interesting.
Which happened a
Right.
few weeks ago when Oklahoma City was blowing them up at 30 points at the half. And you saw a huge bump at 9 o'clock on Dynamite.
Right.
So John Cena versus Ron Kill. Well, why did? Okay, I want to condemn Jason Powell, Joe. So get the condemnation music ready. Okay, and you got to be manning Joe. You got to be manning the ones and twos instead of your phone.
I have
All right.
many multitasking.
All right, I'm going to condemn him because he keeps referring to Ron Killings on this review as R-Truth. Okay, so let's condemn him for that because that's not his name is Ron Killings, not R-Truth.
Oh, you want the Omen music, right?
Yes, of course. That's the condemnation.
My bad. Oh, that's not it. It's great because I can. What? Oh, I use it off YouTube. When I get to edit this, none of this is in here, so I sound.
Joe,
like,
you know what Joe
I sound
reminds
like
you
I'm
of?
on point, but
Like a minor league hockey organ player, and like he's just out of key all the time.
Well,
Like,
unless you erase this that I'm about to say, which you probably would.
Are there ever any comments in the Patreon about the way we abuse you sometimes?
nah, sometimes. I mean, people get it. People either get it or they don't.
All right, so you've been condemned, Jason Powell, for referring to Ron Killings as R-Truth repeatedly. I can turn that off. The condemnation's over. Cena hit the 5-knuckle shuffle against the 5-knuckle shuffle, avoided an attitude adjustment, performed a Thez press. Barrett said it was like Steve Austin and wondered if Truth had a new hero. Cena left the ring and grabbed his title belt before heading to the stage, and R-Truth ran after Cena, who hit him with the title belt to end the match. 6 minutes, DQ. Punk came out, and Cena rushed back to the ring, and Punk ran to the ring, was hit with punches and kicks from Cena once he tried to enter. Punk battled back and knocked Cena down with a punch, and Punk picked up the title belt, wanted to hit Cena, who kicked him in the. Then Cena struck Punk with the belt again, left the ring, and pulled out the idiotic sponsored table from underneath the ring, and slid it inside the ring. I tell you what, it's a sponsored table, but it's a good idea. Brother, they just print money on this show. It's ridiculous. Like you want to pay us to put our emblem on one of the tables? Sure. It's like, think about that.
It looks kind of JoJo because instead of
little table,
instead of putting the logo on the whole table, they have it looks like 2 bumper stickers, one here and one there, and you're like, that looks very amateurish.
I wonder what they're getting paid for that, though.
Right?
Like if I want to hear the dollar amount, it'd probably be hysterical,
Right.
like what they're actually getting paid to break a sponsored table. So he put it through the table, and everybody's complaining that Punk was selling too much during this because Cena grabbed the mic and kind of cut his pipe bomb. But just before I tell you what he based the gist of what he said, people were complaining that it didn't look realistic for Punk to just lay like that.
It didn't, bro. It looked like he was sleeping.
Yeah, but
It was
you know
like,
what?
bro, let me just say this, why I say that. Because we've seen a lot of guys hit with belt shots, and they weren't laying there 10 minutes. We've seen a lot of guys put through a table, they're not laying there 10 minutes. Okay, like he literally looked like somebody choked him out or Powell drove him off the third, like a devastating move, and he literally did not move. Okay, because they had that shot where they're showing him in the broken table and Cena sitting in the corner.
Correct.
He literally didn't even move for like 5 minutes and then went back to sleeping. I was like, that looked a little bit JoJo to me.
I'm gonna play devil.
If this was the mirror image of Punk's pipe bomb, then Punk laid out Cena and cut his 10-minute pipe bomb, and Cena laid there the whole time.
Well, that's what I want to
That up
point
at the
out.
end,
But how did he lay him out?
Bro,
table?
Okay, all of John Cena's creative, the
Right.
entire time he's come back as it was heel turn, every time he's had a segment and he's been laid out, he took one finish and act like he's unconscious.
Right.
This is just like the John Cena angle. If he lays you out, you got to sit and act like you're unconscious for like 5-10 minutes because that's the way we're doing this, So like whatever. So
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I'd like something more devastating than that.
Right.
Yeah, but if the point was to do the opposite and have Cena cut the pipe bomb, and then it's just a mirror image of the one that happened in 2011. It's the same thing.
Okay, still I don't like it.
All right. So he cuts his pipe bomb. He sits up there. He said, Cena grabbed a mic, started to talk, and then he tapped the mic and said someone was afraid of what he had to say, and said he had a lot to get off his chest before he leaves in 6 months. Said he doesn't hate Punk. Said he likes Punk more than anyone Punk shared a locker room with. And Cena said Punk is better than him at one thing. You're the best in the world, Cena said. Cena said the show was off the rails because he said a curse word. Cena called for the cameraman, then waved at the camera and said he was breaking the fourth wall. He said he's jealous of Punk because he convinced the people that he's the best in the world. Cena said the fans cheer for Punk, but they don't believe a word you say because you change your values as much as I change my T-shirt. Cena said Punk is a loudmouth opportunist who will step on the neck of people who actually work hard if it gets him ahead. Cena looked into another camera and said, "Hey, Claudio Castagnoli. Hey, Nick Nemeth. Hey, Matt Cardona. How are you guys doing?"
Now, you know
yeah,
what
we're
that,
still
you know what
on,
that
baby.
was. You know what that was.
No, I have no idea.
This is what we already talked about. This, I thought.
Well, I don't
this
remember.
Is speculation.
Well, because
I talked about this with somebody else.
in the
So,
Punk,
okay, this is.
yeah. In the
How
Punk,
could we have
Go
talked
say it,
about
Joe,
this
'cause
if
I
it
don't-
just happened?
I think people are speculating on that.
No, in the Punk pipe bomb, he said, "I'm breaking the fourth wall," and he turned to the camera and goes, "Hey, Colt Cabana, how you doing?" So, like I said, Cena's just doing the mirror image.
No, I know that, but everybody's.
But why
people were saying
Claudio? Why
that-
Nemeth?
They
And
must
why
just
the other
be-
guy?
Let me tell you
Be
why.
buddies, you know, I don't know.
I'll tell you why. Because people online were speculating that he said Claudio Castagnoli because his initials are CC, which is the initials of who? Colt Cabana. Okay.
Right.
And they said that he picked Nick and Matt because of the Young Bucks reference. Nick and Matt.
Yeah.
So that's what people were saying online. Like, you know,
Who the would know that?
I mean, that's a little.
well, he's doing it a pipe bomb, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's
well, it would have
speculative.
been
It does
nice.
sound-
It would have been nice for people that never saw this pipe bomb or weren't around, that the announcers kind of filled you in.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
this
they-
is this same pipe bomb that CM Punk did many
Yeah.
years ago that started the revolution, and he's saying hi to his boys just like CM Punk said hi to his boy. Like, why is that so hard to explain?
Well, what they
Right.
did was they cut or made a video where it went back and forth between the two. But I mean,
Well, okay, let me fast forward then.
Okay,
Well, let
well,
me
I
continue
haven't
this.
seen that video, and I'm sure a lot of people haven't either.
Right, that's an online
Right.
thing, Joe. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like it was released
well,
on the
they'll probably
WWE
use it on.
page.
They'll probably use it on TV.
Yeah, we're still on, baby. He's heating up. He's on fire. There's nobody back there who cut my mic to save you because I'm your only friend. Remember who gave you the stage for your pipe bomb, pal? What have you done? What have you done with it since? You just keep regurgitating the same five microphone moves of doom.
Yeah.
You're promo potato salad, pal. Hey, you're no longer the voice of the voiceless. You're a millionaire despite yourself. You're not a punk. You're a capitalist. And you're not against TKO, dude. You are Mr. TKO because they knock technically off your body. Your tweets are strong. Your actions are weak. And in Saudi Arabia, you're going to face some loud music when I finally prove to the world that each and every day, day in and day out, no days off for 25 years, I've been the greatest of all time.
Very good.
A Cena chant broke out.
Yeah.
Cena says, see, they know. And they know that you were the best in the world for 7 minutes 14 years ago. After Night of Champions, if you're still delusional enough to believe you're the best in the world, well, I guess it's a small world after all. You're welcome, Grand Rapids. And a lot of fans cheered. Cena held up the mic and told Punk to bring his A game to Night of Champions because his ability showed the mood is starting to change. Referee checked on him, and Cena said it was fine because he wouldn't do no more damage. Said Punk has a big championship match ahead of him and said the best in the world. And he said the best in the world gets a shot at the greatest of all time. And said USA Network could keep the extra 2.5 minutes because he didn't need a bomb. He was censored before he said building. Cena dropped the mic and picked it up and thanked Punk for letting him rip off his promo to make him look even more foolish. And Tessator mentioned Punk's pipe bomb promo, adding that it occurred 14 years ago next week. Cena stood in the apron and played to the crowd that went to the middle rope and helped the title belt. Some fans cheered. Punk started to show signs of life when Cena made his exit, and he held the belt on the stage and blew a kiss after the executive producer credits were shown. What'd you think of this promo?
Do you want to see this, Konnan? It's only 25 seconds, and it'll kind of
Go ahead and play it.
show the back. Yeah.
First, I don't hate you, John. I don't even dislike you. I do like you. I like you a hell of a lot more than I like most people in the back.
I like you more than anyone you've ever shared a locker room with, that's for sure.
This idea.
I hate this idea
that you're the
of
best.
you. This idea that you're the best in the world. You're not.
Because you're not.
I'm the greatest of
best.
all time.
I'm the best in the world.
First things
And it goes, like the whole thing. Like, it's like,
Well, it's good because the whole angle here is he's mocking the guy because that made him famous against Cena. And now he's like laid him out. He's come his promo right back at him. It's the first time. I don't know what you thought about this, Konnan, but this is the first time in John Cena's heel run that he sounded like an organic heel. Like he was saying things that were like, he's not playing a heel character who's being heelish.
Yeah.
Like he was being You know,
I've seen this happen in Mexico when you're a baby face for a long time. It's hard to be a heel, and I just think now he's feeling more comfortable. It was so bizarre to me when I was watching this because I'm like, wow, Punk is there. I wasn't thinking, oh, well, Cena laid down for 10 minutes 15 years ago. I was just thinking, wow, this is a long time for him to be laying out like that without even moving, right? Yeah. Then at the same time, you know, I was like, you know, I just broke the fourth wall, and hi, Claude, and hi, this guy. And, you know, you're not the voice of the voiceless. You're a millionaire despite yourself like that.
Yeah.
Like he was coming in strong, and I was like, wow, what am I seeing here? Like it felt different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I love when I watch wrestling and I get like it isn't, you know, either predictable or the same old, but just with somebody different doing it. I really like this. I think this has maybe been his best promo since he's been back. His delivery was great, you know, and you know they're going to give the mic to Punk probably maybe Smackdown or Raw, and he's going to get his get back. So that'll be cool too.
Yeah, Smackdown.
Is Night of the Champions this weekend? No.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday during the day.
So this was
Disco doesn't like to.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me ask Konnan this real quick, Di. Where do you see the match going on Saturday, Konnan? How would you book the finish?
Which one?
Cena Punk. Would you keep the belt on Cena?
Yes. Why would you give it to Punk?
So then, clean win, a little chicanery. Like, what would you do as far as that goes? Because Punk doesn't really lose, you know.
They'll probably protect Punk.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Was that on? I saw this on the internet. And when I was watching the show, did they have the backstage segment with Punk and Sami Zayn and Cross? Was that on the show or was that on the WWE?
I don't remember seeing it on the show.
It was on the digital.
Yeah.
It's a good segment though.
But I will say this for the go home hype show, whatever you want to call it, for Night of the Champions. I thought this was good. The two matches that they had on the show were good. You know, the tournament semifinals, those were good. And I like the ending of the show. That will definitely be my top 3 this week. The crowd was hot. And thank God, I don't know if I told you this or you probably already know it, that I read that in July next month, SmackDown's going to 2 hours. Thank you very much.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about, I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
All right. These are all the angles that were on the show this week.
Right.
Okay. Are you interested in the Heyman's guys?
We'll all answer.
Against LA Knight.
Not really.
Yeah. Were you interested in
Are you Disco?
Yeah, I actually am. I'm interested in the Raw stuff.
Right.
Well, it's progressive storytelling. He's got the briefcase, so they continue right. Okay, Asuka versus Bliss and the Bliss Charlotte storyline. Are you interested in the Bliss? Okay, I'm not even.
It's all right.
Are you interested in the Ron Killings?
100%.
Are you interested in Aleister Black and Ron Killings now having became?
No.
Only because Ron Killings is in it.
Are you interested in the King of the Ring semifinal match between Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso coming up?
Yes, bro. Yeah. The one they had in Raw was incredible.
Well, it was on Raw. We haven't done it.
My bad.
I haven't seen it right. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That I'm with progressing. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So, are you interested in the Sami Zayn carrying Cross angle?
Yes,
for sure.
Okay. Are you
very
interested?
Much?
Are you interested in the Wyatts? Oh, actually, hang on.
And can I tell you one thing about Zayn and Cross?
Yes.
I'm not really interested in what they do in the ring. I think they're high level promos.
Right.
Yeah, and they'll bring each other up, even higher.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think? Are you interested in the Fatu solo stuff, Jacob Fatu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you interested in the John Cena and CM Punk?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So
yes,
a lot of they.
How about you?
I'm saying this, like they actually had some, they 80% of the stuff on the show is progressive storytelling here that I'm interested in.
All right.
Or 75%.
Will you watch it, or will you watch the highlights?
Well, just saying, I'm still not interested in the mid card.
Right.
Male characters and the mid card female characters. Right. Yeah.
That's what I do.
That's what the button's for.
Let's see this card.
It's 6 matches, and I can't see a match on here that you wouldn't be interested in. Really, maybe Rhea and Raquel.
Rhea versus Raquel in a street fight. I thought they already did that.
No.
Didn't Rhea just have a street fight a couple weeks ago with somebody?
Okay, I can tell you the only one here I'm not interested in. Oh, Sami Zayn versus Karrion. Great. Asuka versus Jade. Could not care less.
Interesting. All right. I thought Karrion Kross versus Sammy was going to be on. Oh wait, Kross is on Raw. That's why.
I don't see anything.
But remember, Sammy said, after I'm done with the King of the Ring, I don't think he even said King of the Ring. When I'm done with what I'm doing now, which is obviously King of the Ring,
for the belt,
I'm coming for you. So, so they're finally
him backstage. You see that spot?
Right.
Him?
They finally put him on. They finally put him in a match. And it's the opening match, which, if you remember, for those people that don't know, the opening match is like the opening song at a concert or like a kickoff in football. People have been sitting there for an hour or two, and the energy's on a whole nother level. So hopefully that energy will lead them to a great match. Plus, Sami Zayn's a great worker.
You know what I would do, though? If I was doing what do you call it? If this is, I don't like to speculate, but if I was progressing the storyline, right, I would have Sammy come out for the match. I would have Karrion Kross's music play. She walks out the entrance, and Kross sneaks in behind him and just chokes him out. And the producers, everything have to come like they don't have a match. He just sneaks up on him and gets heat on him.
I would be okay with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, that's what I would do.
And it would get a lot of heat.
And then progress the storyline where he's basically saying you're scared to wrestle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're scared. So that, no, I'm not. And then he goes and he chokes him out before they ever have the match, and then they could feed right back into the story. You know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be against that idea.
They need heat on
and
heels,
that would get heat.
They would get heat. You know? So
he should leave him laying somehow, but Sammy still have the card. I don't know if they would do that.
Right.
Go ahead.
Konnan, do you want to, as we're finishing up this review, do you want to apologize for the tweet that you said that it was fake news that I was saying that Bill Ding was Terry Taylor's idea? Would you like to apologize for that?
I don't remember doing that.
You did that. You said tweeted fake news.
Maybe I was trying to do another thing and I did yours by mistake, but I still won't apologize.
You won't apologize.
Yeah, I'm saying it was a mistake.
Pull it up.
First of all, the guy looks hilarious.
See,
this guy an actual
wrestler? Put from the mind of Disco Inferno. Look at that, Konnan. You put from the mind of Disco Inferno.
Yeah.
It literally only got 15 views. Like nobody cared about it was such fake news that Twitter, the algorithm just downgraded it. Like they didn't even let anybody see that because it was fake news. Yes.
500.
Wow. Yes. So I put
you got to pay for the. Oh, you are verified. Yeah, I don't know why it's so low then.
Yeah. You get downgraded because it's fake because you were reporting fake news.
Right. Oh, you can't use that term on Twitter or something?
No, I'm just saying. I just think it's funny that you only got 15 views.
Right.
For saying from the mind of the Disco Inferno, and your other one, this is fake news. You got 500 something views. Like this one down here. Yeah. What do you think about that Bill Dean character right there?
That's hilarious, bro. That is hilarious.
Evil House
is out of control.
You know who that reminds me of a little bit? That guy that sent us the thing that he said he inclines 430 and all that.
Joe, pull that back up. Okay.
Bill Ding?
Yes. Pull that the Bill Ding post and go down there and see if people think that was actually real. That didn't realize it was an AI. Okay, so was it because look at how they did it, like the 1984, like it's like the VCR tape, right? Okay, very disrespectful. And the construction. What does this say? Bob, keep going, Joe. Building fake.
Yeah.
No, I guess people did think it was fake.
Yeah, right. Who's this guy?
Did you know they did the building character in Impact that night?
Yeah, they had that.
Who's this guy?
That's the kid that they did when they did the Impact, all the fake
but who
images.
is he?
They did out of I don't know.
Oh.
But that's not what the other character is
looks
more
way
accurate
more
portrayal of Bill Ding than this guy.
Yeah.
This looks like a Mark with a wife.
This looks like the guy that brings the water to the construction workers.
Right. All right. So that's been our
Trey Miguel. That's Trey Miguel.
Is that Trey Miguel?
That's Trey Miguel. Is it?
He's the wrong guy for that.
No, that's not. Yeah. If they were doing like a construction worker male stripper gimmick, it would be apropos, but not like building the evil
guy with a belly and stuff.
You know, right? So, all right, so that's been our SmackDown on USA Network.
Enjoy the rest of the show. Boom.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.